Welcome to Crime Maze. In this video we are going to talk about 5 hotel murders. Before starting this video, like this video and subscribe to Crime Maze channel for future updates. When we think of hotels, we think of a home away from home with comfortable sheets and, if you're lucky, stunning views of the surrounding countryside. Aside from the small amenities such as soap bars and chocolates on pillows, hotels should serve as a safe haven away from the stresses of everyday life. So, what happens when they aren't there to greet you? Something strange happened in these stories, which took place in what were supposed to be luxurious hotel lobbies. The stories are ridiculous and spooky, but what's more scary is what follows them: the fact that they have remained unresolved. While some long-ago mysteries may be solved within the next decade, these ones have been long cold and remain as strange as they were when they were first discovered. Keep an eye on things and draw your own conclusions. Number 5. Madeline McCann. Madeline McCann, 3 years old, went missing from her hotel room in Portugal on the 3rd of May, 2007, while on a family vacation. Maddie and her family were on a 7-night holiday at the Luz Ocean Club Resort in Praia da Luz with her twin brothers and sisters, her dad, and a bunch of family and friends. The McCann parents went out to dinner with friends on the evening of Madeline's disappearance and checked on all 3 of their children several times during the night until Madeline's mother found that she had vanished. It took 11 years for the Portuguese police and private detectives to complete their investigation, which was coordinated with Scotland Yard in the McCann's native nation of England. Despite their best efforts, the case remains a mystery, and the circumstances continue to excite internet sleuth theorizers, as well as productions such as The Disappearance of Madeline McCann, a new documentary series on Netflix that explores the case. There are 2 new leads that have drawn even more attention to the investigation, yet the case remains unresolved. She and her family may have reason to be hopeful after reading about the 6 miraculously solved missing person mysteries. Number 4. Elisa Lam. The Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles, California, has been the scene of numerous unsolved mysteries and murders over the years. The most well-known example is that of Elisa Lam, a Canadian college student who went missing in 2013 while on vacation. Hotel maintenance discovered Lam, who was 21 at the time, in a water tank on the roof of the hotel, 3 weeks after he had gone missing, despite the fact that her death was considered an accident due to drowning. The odd circumstances surrounding her death have led some to assume there is more to the story. In a surveillance video taken from the hotel elevator, Lam can be seen acting oddly. It's also worth noting that the roof may only be accessed by using a key that is provided to the employees. Many folks are perplexed as to how Lam got there. Even though she was suffering from bipolar disorder, she was taking the right medications to keep it under control. Number 3. Rose Burkhart and Roger Atkinson. When Rose Burkhart and Roger Atkinson traveled to Williamsburg, Iowa, in September 1980, they slept at the Amana Holiday Inn. Because of a last-minute cancellation, the couple was able to secure the final remaining hotel room. The next morning, the couple's body was discovered by the housekeeper, who discovered some peculiar facts about their death. A piece of soap was cut by the killer, and there was evidence that the killer put their feet up on the desk and worked on it. In addition, the murderer wrote one word on the bathroom mirror. A mortician convention was taking place in town, and many of the delegates were staying at the inn, making things even creepier. Following their deaths, stories began to circulate regarding a suspected assailant. One theory holds that Roger's uncle, a serial killer who recently escaped from a Nebraska mental health facility, is to blame for the crime. Despite this, the case remains unsolved. It's one of the 19 most bizarre unsolved mysteries of all time, according to Time magazine. Number 2. Jessica Kinsey. Jessica Kinsey, originally from Union, Missouri, was last seen in 1995 at a Dollar Inn in Cloverdale, Indiana, where she had been staying since. The 14-year-old girl had originally planned to spend the day at a friend's house, but she ended up leaving the state with 2 pals, Jimmy Hopkins, 23, and Mark Henderson, 22. Jimmy enlisted Mark's assistance in transporting the group to the inn. Mark woke up in the middle of the night after hearing loud noises, and went to check on them before falling asleep again. The following morning, Jimmy picked up Jessica and the automobile. His adventures brought him to California and Tennessee before bringing him back to Missouri, where he was separated from Jessica. Jimmy provided conflicting information about Jessica's whereabouts to the police and her family. Jessica encountered a man named Capone. According to one of his tales about Jessica's encounter, there was a problem with Jimmy's address for the motel where they were staying. It didn't exist. Over the years, Jessica's family and the police have made numerous attempts to obtain additional information from Jimmy. The authorities never arrested him, and he died in 2008 as a result of his injuries. Number 1. Denny Casalaro. Denny Casalaro, a freelance investigative journalist, worked on a high-profile investigation involving government officials, which he codenamed The Octopus, which was published in the New York Times. He was found dead in his hotel room in West Virginia, where he had gone to meet with a confidential source. Despite the fact that officials ruled his death a suicide, his family believes he was murdered. We may never know the specific circumstances of his death, or the circumstances of any of the other weird unsolved mysteries from across the country. Here are a few more examples. Claudia Kirchhoff. Claudia Kirchhoff, a journalist who was scheduled to attend a press conference in Havana, Cuba, was unable to make it to her destination. The 29-year-old stayed at the Sandals Beaches Resort in Negril, Jamaica, while she waited for available flights to the United States, as she was unable to enter Cuba due to her visa restrictions. Kirchhoff remained in the resort for a short period of time before unexpectedly disappearing. The only things that were gone from her room were the clothing that she had been wearing on the night of her abduction. Following her disappearance, Kirchhoff befriended bartender Anthony Grant, whose actions, including calling in ill for 4 days following her abduction, are notable. Further investigations discovered Kirchhoff-related material in his vehicle, but officials do not consider him to be a suspect. According to a 2002 judge's verdict, Kirchhoff died as a result of foul play, but no charges were filed. This isn't one of the 13 unsolved mysteries that can be explained easily by science, as some have claimed. Sickening noises. Havana Syndrome, a strange disease that some refer to as the Thing, afflicted diplomats and CIA agents from the United States and Canada during the Cuban Missile Crisis. Symptoms such as nausea, hearing loss, vertigo, and nosebleeds were experienced by everyone who suffered from the illness after hearing a high-pitched noise in their hotel rooms or houses. Medical experts at the University of Pennsylvania discovered that the symptoms are similar to those of a concussion, despite the fact that there were no signs of having suffered from a concussion. Theories regarding the noises and the origin of the mystery disease range from basic paranoia and anxiety to the possibility of a new type of airborne weapon being used to launch them. According to the Washington Post, the identical diagnosis was given to an American living in Guangzhou, China, in May 2018. What do you think about this video? Do let us know down in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from us again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.